Hello, this is Uncle Jim. Last video was a garage door pop because we had thunder and rain and I couldn't test any loads. I made up two different loads using 2400 powder in a 44 special with a 157 grain bullet. And I used the stiffest charge and it had a sonic crack. And what I'm looking for is something quiet with the suppressor without a sonic crack. And so I'm going to make up one more load today, and we'll see how the three shoot. And we know the last load is going to be sonic. It doesn't bother the shooter, but it does make noise in the mountain. All right, so we're using the like in the previous video, old RCBS set from 1970. And they came with these nice rings, but they don't fit on here, so I put on some beater newer rings I had. And I was going to get a dedicated crimp die, Lee Factory crimp die. But then I thought about it, and you know what? It's like 20 bucks or so, and I'm still going to be knocking out the carbide ring in it, so it doesn't iron out the bullet. I do not like that in 44 whatsoever. And this doesn't touch anything, so why, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. A little more fidgety doing your crimping and seating at the same time, but it's really not bad. I actually like these dies, and it saves you one stroke. Okay, so I'm going to spin this once. We're going to crimp and seat at the same time, and they come out perfect. Okay, they come out perfect every time. So why even bother having another? If I change bullets, yes, most likely it's just seating, but I might have to dink with the crimping at the same time, but it only takes a second. All right, so we're going to go out and shoot three different loads at closer range, see if anything's wacky, and see if this lighter load is more quiet. So 12 grains of 241 sonic crack. I have loaded some 11 grain, and then I went down to 10.5 grain, and that's kind of like your minimum for a Keith style bullet, even though these are 157 grain, a little bit heavier. All right. Okay, I've had really good luck with Trail Boss and Unique. Trail Boss and 44 mag and special, they're like tack driving. And then Unique was very good also. So this was 145 grain Keith bullet with Trail Boss in 44 mag, and this was sighting it in. I might have to do a click or two over, or we'll just leave it for now. But that is a really nice 5 shots there, and so we'll see if we can get similar and go from there. Okay, I'm using a foam block for rest. This is a 2.5 power pistol scope up front. And let's see, I'm going to do a Fowler shot. This is a lighter load, so let's see if it doesn't have a sonic crack. So 10.5 grains. Not bad, not bad. Sonic crack wise, that was the first shot. And all these are loaded and racked like you would really do in case there's any dings or anything, loading or racking. All right, now we'll go at the top target with the lightest load. I think they're going to get more accurate as they get more powder in them, but we'll see. That one was acceptable noise-wise. Okay, right on top of the sticker. I had to put an extra sticker out there because I made an extra load. Yeah, these are acceptable. The Winchester 231 was quiet with the max load. These are going to get louder, I'm sure. All right. Let's get comfy. Come on, settle. Okay, they're almost touching. It's not one hole though. I want one hole at this range. Now yesterday we had rain and thunder, and then I found out Jerry was home, so that explains everything. Whenever Jerry comes home, we get rain or snow. And we had thunder. I did do a recording, but I had 20 minutes straight of thunder where it didn't end. It was just solid thunder. I've never seen that before. No breaks between the thunder. 20 minutes. And then a hell of a lightning storm. Not super happy with that. I mean, they're clovering, but this should be one hole. However, the foam block isn't the greatest, but we're going with it. It's more comfy. Now the dot is disappearing. Oh, where's the dot? Well, I'll go at the cluster. Okay, last shot. Should have put a bigger dot out there. I did move the scope over a click or so, and now it's straight up and down. Before they were a little left when I sighted in the scope, and then I never messed with it. Now it seems to be just right. At least for 44 special. Oh, where's the dot? The hole kind of covered the dot. Okay, we'll look at that, and then we'll go to the next. That was quiet. It wasn't like super quiet like 231 was, but damn acceptable. Okay, here's the first group, and we had a problem with the last shot. These dots are slightly under an inch, and let me show you something. Okay, even though this is a minimum load in the book, it's too light. When I racked that last round out, I saw powder coming out. And check this out. There's still some powder in here. Look at that. That's half a load of powder right there. There's probably some in my can. And that's why I like volume in the case. Okay, that was still acceptable in the book, but that's not good. And it was louder with half the charge. All right, all those charges were weighed, hand weighed, and the primers were for both Magnum and regular. So it wasn't the primer's fault. It's just not enough powder volume. And believe it or not, it clustered in the 4. The third shot was the low one. And I checked the bore, but I should have run a bore snake through the bore, because when I chambered this next load, it went in a little stiff in the chamber. So there's powder in there, and there's probably powder in my can. Now with Trail Boss and Unique and Winchester 231, which had a lot of extra air volume in the case, all of those burned the powder completely. There was none in the can. So now we're going to 11 grains. I'm going to fire one shot, and then we'll speed up the video to save time. But this might go sonic. So this is not the powder I want for subsonic suppressed loads, okay? It's great powder for full up, but it's not for this purpose. But that's what I needed to find out today. All right, I'll fire one shot and then we'll speed up the video. And we'll see if we get a sonic crack. I think we will. I'm at a higher altitude, so I get more feet per second than a lot of you guys do. All right. And the funny thing is, when I estimate, these loads are for like a 6.5-inch revolver. When I estimate what the feet per second will be in a 16-inch barrel, it varies to the data in the book from what powder you're using. So this is actually supposed to be going slower than the Winchester 231 that stayed quiet the whole time and burned all the powder. So there's that, if it makes sense. All right, we'll shoot this one, then I'll speed up. Oh, I jerked that one right. I knew it. So that one was a right jerker. Oh, this is all stock triggers, stock everything. Okay, this group was absolutely disgraceful. There's 2 in this hole here, but that is terrible. And the last round had a few unburnt kernels in it. And these are all weighed perfectly, loaded perfectly. I am wobbling a bit, but that's bad, bad. It didn't go sonic though, so that's good. Okay, with the 11 grains, they didn't go sonic, they're close. And there's some unburnt powder on the table here from racking them out. So now we're going to 12 grains, and when I did the garage door pop and made a sonic crack, at least when it was raining, so we'll try this. And then I'll speed it up. I took my sunglasses off because the sun goes away and then I can't see worth a crap, so no sunglasses. Hopefully we get a group today. All right. Okay, and I'll speed up from here. That's still not, I didn't hear a sonic crack on that one. I'll report if I get another. Okay, the last group did much better as suspected because we have powder in the case. However, it's not going to be my favorite suppressor load because I got 2 sonic cracks out of here and an almost sonic crack out of a 5-shot. So this was the first shot cold bore, and then all 4 went in this hole, and that's what I'm looking for. Okay, at this range, if I can keep 5 in there, I know it's going to be good at 50, 75, 100 yards. And obviously it's just fill in the case with the powder. This is not a max load, but close, and add a few more tenths of a grain, and this is going to be a really nice shooting 44 special load. However, I'm still working on quiet right now. Even though it doesn't affect me shooting it, I just hear the crack out in the mountains, and I want to be totally stealthy. So this is not going to be the stealthy powder for me, like Trail Boss is, Unique, and Winchester 231. So I hope you found this interesting. This group was a disaster. I got 2 in this hole, but the clouds came over. I still had my sunglasses on, and I couldn't see this very good. And then on this one, I took the sunglasses off, and obviously we shot better. We got 4 in there, and that's what I want. At this range, that's what I'm looking for, and then I know it's a load you write down for later. Okay, and I had one that didn't burn half the powder, and it stayed in this cluster with 10.5 grains, which was amazing. That was my 3rd shot, but the last shot stayed in this cluster with only half of the powder burning. So there's that. You gotta love it sometimes. All right, I hope you found this interesting. Again, this is about shooting suppressed with a 16-inch barrel. Oh, the other thing is, when you look at the manual and look at the data, and it's for a 6.5-inch revolver, right? So you're trying to stay subsonic. And the weird thing that I found was, if you look at the feet per second and try and estimate what a 16-inch barrel will do, each powder is different. Okay, so the 231 was going faster than this, and this had 2.5 sonic cracks, where the 231 did not. So it's also about how the powder burns, how fast it burns, and all that stuff. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting. Thanks for watching.